Starting up. It seemed like it. Now, there's a little bit of wind going on, which is not the best because, you know, the mic might pick up the wind sound instead of my sound. So that might be, you know, bad a little, especially for the stream. But hopefully it will be fine. Now let's see. Alright, we have signal. That's a plus, you know. Usually we need signal for streaming. That's how it is. Entire thing happens on the internet anyway. Now let's see the visibility, because a couple of streams before the overall visibility was quite bad, but now the light really seems to pick up everything, even in the far distance. Yeah, it's quite visible. So now anybody who is actually interested can have a really good picture that where am I, which wasn't the case before in the previous teams because my light was so weak, but now it's significantly better. Yeah. Now let's see. Go into the big pathway or the small pathway. This is the big one, this is the small one. I guess I go with the small one. I just walk a little. Now, I'm just checking if, you know, the overall visuals are working fine. Because yeah, a couple of streams before it was really bad. It only could see, I mean, with my eyes I could see pretty damn well, but on the stream it only the first tree in front of me was visible. And now it's looking great. It's actually, you know, I'm watching the phone. It's actually looking quite awesome, to be honest. It has a really good atmosphere. Also, what I did change compared to the previous stream is that I changed it to a just chatting category stream, which is, I actually always try to chat with the people who are joining in, so it's not changing anything. You know, before I categorized it as IRL, you know, as, you know, real life footage, because, you know, because of reasons we are here in the nature, so I thought it's kind of fitting. But, you know, for trying out if it's worked better or not, now we are trying the just chatting category as well. So hopefully people might join for the sole reason to chat with me and maybe ask me what the hell am I doing in the dark forest at night, and, you know, the answer would be really clear, just because, you know, nothing especially. Now, yeah, the sky can be visible. That reddish thing, I switch off my lamp. Yeah, that reddish thing there is the distant light of the city, because, you know, behind that mountain hill there is the city, and, you know, the city lights are lighting up the sky. All right, I'm walking a little bit of uphill, and that's why I had to stop a little to heavy breathe time to time. You know, I'm just usually saying these things for if there is any audience to not be surprised what's happening. Actually, I were never walking in this area before. This is a completely new pathway I just found, and if my thinking is correct, it's bringing me up to the top of the mountain here, which I don't really want to go there. On the other hand, this non-existent path in front of me, which is not a path, it's just, you know, trees are not really growing here, is bringing me the direction I actually want to go. So I'm going to go off the path, which is usually a really good idea in every single horror movie, so you know what can go wrong. So this is what I do right now, going off the path and walk in the untouched pathways. Now, I have an overall knowledge of where I am, because as I said, I never took this path before. So, alright, I really hope it's not too overgrown, so I actually can go somewhere. Yeah, it seems to be blocked, maybe this way. At least for a short time it seems to be good. Now, alright, some fallen trees here and there. Yeah, that would be the worst thing that could happen to me right now if a tree falls on me. Alright, now, let's see where to go. Fallen trees. This seems to be a good path. Alright. Yep. So, right now I just have the general idea that somewhere that direction I'm going to find the road. Oh, and here it is. I just have to said it. Yep, this is the road. This is the pathway. I just found my way back here. Oh, and the wind is blowing. I really hope that the microphone is still working, so it's not picking up too much wind noise. You know, these clear paths, it can be quite windy. Now, where should I go? Where should I go? Because I found my way back to the pathway, which is great. Now, I think I'm going this way. Now, so I know that now I'm walking on the path, but you know, the other thing you have to know is which direction you should walk on the path, you know, so I'm just going to walk a little and see if this is the right way, because if it's not, I have to backtrack this distance, because, you know, I just found the pathway, but it doesn't mean I'm walking into a good direction. But it seems it's all right. Yeah. Yes, this is the crossroads. Great. Yeah, the red sky in the distance. If I switch off my light, it's really visible that how creepy the lights are in the distance, which is nice. We like creepy. All right. Now, yes, this is the pathway I wanted to go. Yeah, so this little pathway what I just found and, you know, tried it out for the first time, it was actually really good. I liked it. It looked nice. It was protected by the wind. So, you know, it's always nice to find a new place which ends up being good. You know, I mean, this might have been the small pathway, I mean a part of that small pathway. I didn't turn here, so now let's go in that direction instead, because this direction seems to be promising as well. Alright, you know, I'm just mapping the area, because during this talking session I'm going to walk around a little, and you know, it's better if I have some understanding that which pathway leads where. Now, during the day I actually walked around here a couple of times, so I know where am I, just, you know, it's looking a little bit different at the night. So it's better if I, you know, don't wander off too much and only try to remain at least close to the roads I already explored. So I actually believe it's a nice red sky here. Let's just rest a little below this nice red sky, enjoy the scenery, and, you know, maybe start a little talk. Now, what I thought I'm going to talk about a little, because, you know, this streaming thing is very new for me, and I actually, you know, try to do some things, try to experiment with some things, and you know, this walking around the forest and talking is one of them. It's not necessarily guaranteed that I'm going to do this always, you know. It might be possible that I'm going to do some gameplay or such, because Twitch really seems to, you know, like that if streamers do that. I mean, I understand that this is the main idea behind streaming, that you are streaming gameplay and, you know, people watch that. But, you know, hopefully people are open for this thing as well, especially if I do it right. Of course, it's pretty much possible that it's boring and nobody cares. But who knows? We're going to see. Now, yeah, the wind is bothering me because I really don't want any wind noise in the microphone. And yeah, it's really hard to protect the mic like this. I mean, I might need to buy some equipment, you know, to improve this stream. Of course, I already did order some things, extra lights and such. Also, I ordered a glow-in-the-dark gloves. So, you know, it's fluorescent material and it has a shine, you know, slow amount of light emission in complete darkness. So maybe in footages like this I still can wave with my hand and it's still visible on the camera. It might look good. Who knows? You know, we try it out. I just ordered it, you know, let's see how it goes. If it's interesting, if it's good, well, we'll keep it. Otherwise, you know, we'll see. Now, what I thought that I am going to talk about today was, you know, a little bit of going down the memory lane, a little bit, you know, talking about old gaming experience, stories like that. You know, the main idea behind this stream is that hopefully people are going to join to talk, but, you know, there's a really high chance that they don't. You know, I have no illusions. I'm pretty much a, well, no-name streamer at this point. You know, I just started this stream a week ago. And with no following, with no real audience, so it's pretty much possible that nobody's going to join and nobody's going to talk. So I actually prepared some form of, you know, discussion topics. And what the idea is that right now, you know, because I'm streaming, I actually record the entire thing. And hopefully I can cut some videos from this, some interesting things. And, you know, hopefully it's, at least on YouTube, we can find some people who might be interested in this. But, you know, we'll see. Now, what I thought I'm going to talk about is some memories, you know, going down the memory lane and old gaming-related memories. And, you know, when I try to remember which was the oldest game I played with, of course, there were a lot of really, really old games which I actually played when I was so young that I cannot even remember, you know, the game itself. I can't remember the title, I can't remember many different things. But I do remember that my father bought us a CD which had, you know, basically demos, you know, I'm not even sure that I have to explain what a demo is for the Gen Z audience, because, you know, nowadays it's not really a thing, you know, trial versions. Yeah, I mean, still exist to some extent, but not too much. But back in the day, every single game had a trial, it had a demo. And there were sometimes you could buy a CD with a lot of different games demo. It was just maybe the first level of the game, or a short version which you basically can just simply try out whether or not you like this game or not. And there were these CD-ROMs which had a lot of games demos, like 100, or even there were thousands. So because a demo really did not take too much size, so you could shove really lot of them on a single CD-ROM. And that's why you could have a CD with hundreds of different games. And as a child, you really don't have the dedication. We really don't have the will and game knowledge to play through these games. But generally speaking, the demo itself was sufficient enough, because you could practice the game, you could play a little, but it wasn't too demanding. If you did not like it, try something else, and you could repeat this process infinitely, basically, with hundreds of different titles. And I remember then on this CD there were a lot of games, and a lot of DOS games as well. Now, DOS games, which was created for MS-DOS, it was before the Windows times. Those games were extremely small, and therefore, it was, I believe it was part of the public domain back then. It's part of the public domain today as well. So you can just go on the internet, and there are sites where you can play with these MS-DOS games completely free. And some of them are really awesome. And I remember that there was especially a really great game. I actually replayed it not that long ago. Is Tyrian. Tyrian. I'm not sure how you need to pronounce that. It's basically a bullet storm type. You are going with an airship, a spaceship, and you are buying different weapons, different shields and such, and you're dodging bullets and trying to shoot down like a side scroller game, but it's not side scroller. It's top to bottom scrolling. There's an airplane. So yeah, it was really fun, really interesting. What I really liked in that game, and what really captured my attention, was that it has a fun game loop. It has a lot of different weapons. It was fun. It was interesting, but also it has a campaign mode, and the campaign mode literally consisted. I really don't know how long that game is, but I would say hundreds of different quests, and you could get new abilities, you could improve on your ship for a really extended period of time. You could upgrade the ship, you could upgrade the generators, new weapons, and even improve them, and you can have a combination of weapons, and literally like an RPG type shipbuilding game with well, it's not infinite, but a really big number of choices. And if you upgraded your ship really well, you could play more and more levels, and there were insane amount of levels there. And yeah, I think it's one of the earliest RPGs I actually played, because in my eyes these were RPG mechanics. Of course, back then RPGs and a lot of things like that did not really exist. So in MS-DOS times, this is when gaming started to build up, and different genres and different things like that were not really invented. They were experiments. All of them were experiments. And Tyrian is actually experimented to have a Bulletstorm-like side-scroller shooter with heavy RPG elements, with the ship improvement. And it was awesome, and for this very day, I have really fond memories with it, and, I just thought that, what, let's try it out. Maybe only my memories are, brightening everything up, Maybe just in my memories it's a really great game because I was a child and didn't know better. Maybe it's just an average or even a bad game, and nowadays it wouldn't really work. So I went to the websites. As I said, MS-DOS games can be played for completely free on the internet. It's not illegal and nothing like that. You can do that, it's completely fine. And I tried it out. I tried out to play with Tyrian, and oh boy, that game is awesome. Okay, I literally cannot say how good that game is even today. You know, the overall feeling, the overall graphics, of course, extremely dated, but you know, it has this unique charm. Old games has this charm, and to be honest, the newest generation of indie titles and the newer generation of games actually trying to replicate these kind of graphics. I'm not kidding you. There are lots of games which are going to come out this year, and they are really like, you know, these 80s type graphics, which back then was really popular. I do believe that right now we live in the age where the 80s are really the retro of the 80s. We are trying to replicate the visuals, the feelings, the songs and such from the 80s. And most likely it's going to go to the 90s within a couple of days, a couple of years, but sorry. I expect that to happen. So hopefully we might going to see a uprising of the new metal and you know, this kind of Need for Speed underground, you know, underground racing type of things. I would really enjoy that, to be honest. However, still, Tyrian, I just tried Tyrian out, and oh boy, that game is awesome. And those RPG elements are just like that as I remembered. They are really awesome, really working well. They are really turning this average game experience into so much more. And you know, just this nostalgia as well is there. And you know, as I was a child, I really was not that good at this game. And you know, after a decade of game experience, now, you know, this game is not really challenging for me anymore. But you know, that just means that I can ramp up the difficulty and I can go much further in the story as I did as a child. And yeah, and this is how I realized that, oh man, this game never ends. And not just never ends, you know, there is also an arcade version of the game, so you can have an arcade game function in the game, which means that, you know, you are going to pick up power-ups and weapons and such during the level. So this basically ditches these RPG shipbuilding elements and, you know, using as a simple arcade version, because back then that was the Bulletstorm game type, you know. This is how every game worked, and this game was so good because it did not work that way. But if you wanted to game with that mode, you could. So, you know, you could just switch the game mode, and it was working fine. So yeah, I mean, even as old as I am right now, I feel like a boomer sometimes. It's still, these kind of games were really cool. They were really awesome, and they worked really fine. And even today's standards, they are holding ground. And which is begs the question: if we have almost 3 decades worth of great video games in our pockets, why should we buy the new ones? Why should we spend money on new AAA releases, while the new AAA releases getting worse and worse and worse every single year? And the main reason why they get worse is this greedy monetization policies. You know, every single company trying to make the biggest, you know, money with the new title. They're trying to, I don't know, double their entire budget every single year, and this is how we got to the level that we have games which literally are developed by, you know, money equal to a yearly budget of a developing country. So you have people, you know, entire countries who are spending less money in an entire year than you spent on creating this single video game. And that video game is worse than video games which were developed in a garage by a couple of nerds. Because video games created in a garage by a couple of nerds were a passion project. They were actually cared. They actually wanted to create a great game. And, you know, guess what? They did. And that is why it's deeply heartbreaking when you know, it's just lost. Sometimes it feels like it's lost. Of course, it's not lost. It's an over-aggregation. Indie development still is the same, which was just, you know, back in the day, what we called AAA development was what we call today indie development. You know, people are just coming together, trying to create something cool, something new, and you know, it might be a little bit clunky, it might be a little bit, you know, less impressive graphics-wise, but oh boy, we have so good game experiences with indie titles, because yes, those still are passion projects, not like AAA titles. You know, the bigger the title is, usually the worse the experience becomes. And yes, that's the sad reality that, you know, you actually wanted, we would like to be the other way around, you know? We bought the initial title, which was a passion project, and saw that this is cool. And now we give them the budget. Hey guys, it was an awesome game. And we understand that there were lots of limitations, and those limitations, primary reason of those limitations were money. Now here is the money. Make the game the perfect game, what you always wanted to. And then, you know, the developers take the money and just make some shit. I mean, of course, this is not how actually happens all the time, but, you know, it's just sadly happened so many times. Especially as the company grows and is getting bigger and bigger, the budget of the game is getting bigger, but the quality of the game really isn't. And, you know, that's just the sad part of this entire thing. Yeah, now it seems nobody really joins this discussion, which is quite sad. I'm just going to walk a little, but, you know, I actually planned to do this for approximately an hour, and if there are, you know, many people joining and the discussion is going, I might stay here for a little longer. But you know, if nobody joins, nobody cares, I don't really believe that I'm going to remain here too long. I mean, still, I might walk just around a little. Hopefully somebody joins. Maybe something is going to come in my mind, and, you know, talk about that. There are actually some things, but, you know, the thing is, I really don't wish to you know, say every single thing like that. The main reason behind it is that, you know, as I said, I'm trying to make YouTube videos out of it, and, you know, making YouTube videos out of it actually also takes time. So I try to, you know, limit the amount of work I have to do with this, because there's pretty much a high possibility that I'm really not going to do really good work with it. And also, you know, I'm trying to put some effort in the videos as well. So, for example, with this, I'm going to make some gameplay videos about Tyrian, you know, and while I am discussing the game on that dark forest, I actually going to have some gameplay video of Tyrian as well, to, you know, show what I am talking about, what kind of game it was. Now, all right. But, you know, that also takes time, that also takes effort, and then, you know, cutting together the entire thing. Yeah, it's a job, and, you know, I don't have a how's it called, editor, you know, somebody who would make this job for me. I don't have, you know, anyone. I'm completely alone, not just in terms of the forest, but in general sense. I'm alone in this project right now, and And yeah, you know, that has its downs. I mean, on the other hand, it really gives me so much freedom, you know. I really can do whatever I want to. Of course, also great limitations, because I really don't have too much, you know, too much things to do. I mean, still, it's pretty much possible that I'm just going to go down to gameplay videos, hopefully. You know, it's still, if I get some level of audience whom I can talk to, you know, this stream could be significantly different, you know. I had a couple of streams where I already had 3 or 4 different people who did chat, and we had some level of discussion as well. And those were really awesome, and you know, I really want to do that, but on the other hand, I really don't know how. I mean, how can I convince people to join? Other than, you know, be out there and wait. You know, yes, in one of my chats there was a person joining who really wanted to convince me to have a, you know, personalized avatar and such. Who knows, maybe that really is necessary? I'm not sure. I mean, you know, if I am looking at Twitch, if I am looking at, you know, what people are watching and how are they finding what they are watching. You know, most people are just scrolling through the, you know, search. They're opening the main page, seeing something interesting and click on that, and, you know, some personalized, I don't know, tags or something which they might be interested in, they just join in to those. And especially, you know, the popular streams are really taking away, you know, the audience, because most people are joining in to see the same thing there. Which is, you know, this is how it is, this is how it works. But still, you know, it's quite sad, and also it's quite, you know, hard to find a way to do this. Now it's maybe the Just Talk tag is really not for me. You know, I just changed, as I said in the beginning, I just changed the stream's label to Just Talk. So see if maybe it's working better. And it's really doesn't seem it's working better. I mean, yeah, you know, there are significantly more people watching Just Talk streams. So, you know, there are a lot of them. But the thing is that the biggest streamers of the platform, like Asmongold and Hassan and, you know, others like them, are on the Just Talk tag as well. So right now, technically speaking, they are my competition. So if somebody is searching on the tag Just Talk, they're going to see my stream amongst, you know, Asmongold and Hassan on the top. Yeah, they are really not going to search for more, or they're really not going to scroll down to the infinite to find me. So that's pretty much possible that this is the main problem behind this tag, that, yeah, I'm just shooting myself in the foot with that. So, you know what? That's actually possible to change, as far as I know. Yep, I can do this during the stream as well. Change the category. IRL. Let's see. Search. Come on. Yep. And save. Wow, and I successfully updated it to IRL. Now. Alright. Now hopefully we are going to get somebody to join like this. I don't know. I don't know if it works at all. But yeah, the stream is still ongoing. You know, because I'm sometimes really afraid to click around, you know, in the Twitch application, because it happened before that I was just, you know, clicking and doing something and bam, it's just closed off the stream completely. And I have to restart it, and it was especially bad because back then I actually had some viewers. I actually had some people who are also chatted with me, and now you know, they are gone because I just switched off the entire thing. I mean, it wasn't me, it was the Twitch application, but still, you know, it's still bad. Now, I mean, the overall forest feeling, I believe it's really nice. I really like it. And, you know, having a discussion, you know, walk with me in the dark forest, you know, that's the idea behind it. I think it's good work. I mean, I can see that somebody might be interested in, you know, joining in and see this. I mean, just look at this visual. It's creepy but calm, you know, it's looking interesting, but you know, yeah. I mean, there's so many good things can come out of this. So many, you know, interesting discussions we can have like this. You know, talk about horror movies, creepypastas, video games, you know, or just generally, just whatever. You know, this is all a possibility. But yeah, first we should see somebody. Now, I also might buy a, how's it called? You know, a phone holder, because, you know, I'm using my phone for streaming. That's the camera as well. So a phone holder which is, you know, negates the vibrations, which, you know, while walking it's actually shaking the camera a little bit. I'm not sure if that's annoying for anyone, but, you know, I guess somebody should join to be annoyed by this first, so problem solved. But still, you know, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, alright. I think I just going to start to walk backwards. Hopefully somebody joins, maybe we have some talking points. And if not, well, at least it was an interesting stream. To be honest, it's really, it's not warm, it's still, you know, quite cold out here, but now I'm not wearing my thick coat, it's just, you know, a soft shell, what I'm wearing currently, and it's really, really comfortable like this. I actually like it a lot. But yeah, you know, it's actually quite healthy to have a night walk like this in the forest. It's good, fresh air, nice weather. I'm actually, it's equivalent to doing some sports. I mean, you know, you cannot really see, but it's quite a hill, so I actually have to climb up quite a lot, and it's, wow, it's really tiring. And when I reach the top, I mean, then I start to talk normally, because, you know, until then it's just heavy breathing. But still, you know, I'm trying to do something interesting. Now, I think I just start to go the direction of home and maybe just end the stream. You know, it's going to be more than 40 minutes. So yeah, as I said, if nobody joins, I'm not taking an entire hour. You know, there's a lot of things to talk about, but I'm going to do this stream tomorrow as well. Hopefully somebody will join then. But until then, you know, I'm waiting for my stuff to arrive, you know, the glowing gloves and such, you know, that's also might give some attraction. And yeah, but otherwise I'm just thinking what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. You know, cut this video, going to make some Tyrian gameplay. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream Tyrian gameplay. You know, that's actually a possibility. You know, really did not want to make some gameplay, too much gameplay streaming, because I mean, yeah, I could. I could try it out, to be honest. Why not? The main reason I didn't want it to do that is because I like playing video games alone, you know. So for me, it's a alone time thing, and I'm trying to do that in silence. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to do that in silence, you know. Maybe listening to some podcasts, you know. So for me, video games is my me time, you know. That's the time when I spend, you know, just switching off my brain and doing nothing. Now, streaming is a completely different beast. It's an active thing. You are constantly thinking. You are constantly trying to, you know, do something which is interesting. And yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I would be good at it. You know, I cannot be sure still till I'm trying. So, you know, maybe I try it out and it's going to be fine. But, you know, the main problem is that, you know, the language barrier, be honest. Yeah, I am talking a lot and still talk a lot in English, but English is not my mother tongue. And still, in this dialogue, I had a lot of phrases which did not came into my mind, you know. I just struggled to come up with it. And then, you know, because of this, a really low amount of vocabulary was used in this entire stream, which is not good. It's not optimal. I really want to improve on that, but you know, how you improve on that? Well, you practice. So we can imagine it. What I do right now is as practice runs, because yes, they are. And to be honest, I do feel on myself. I do feel how I improve every single day. You know, I became much more fluent. I became much more, you know, how can I say? I can talk faster. I can think less on different words because, you know, I get used to the process. Still, it's not perfect, and still there is a lot of improvement to do. But I myself feel on myself, on my own, you know, level of capabilities of talking, that it's actually significantly better today than it was last week. And yeah, keep in mind that I just started a week ago, so it's not that surprising that it's not really going on really well. But you know, I actually have to think about, you know, what we are. Yeah, here's a moth. What are the plans? What is the distant, you know, idea behind this? Yeah, the moth really likes my light. Yeah, Mothman, I see. This is a light. Yes, it is. So, you know, the question is, what will we do? What is the idea? If the streaming thing is not going on, it's not really giving me any results, you know. Should I do this infinitely? I mean, of course we couldn't do this infinitely, okay? That's obvious. But you know, how long will the dedication take me? And you know, so far I had multiple days of really good streams, which were really interactive. I had fun doing them. I was feeling awesome. The visuals were great. The entire stream was great. You know, everything was great. Hopefully, if I experiences like that, it will move me forward, and we could, you know, do this for, I don't know, an extended period of time. But it's pretty much possible that if it's going to turn into this, what happened today, you know, nobody comes, nobody cares. And also, the YouTube videos I'm create from this is either, you know, going to get an audience on YouTube or not. And if it isn't, if it's not getting any audience, well, I mean, that means that, you know, we're tried, and that's it. Yeah, it's pretty much a possibility that, you know, it's never going to happen anyway. because, you know, this is how life works. We can try it out, we do our best, and, you know, the rest is in the hands of fate. Right now, I'm still, you know, in the beginning, so it's really, you know, don't try to be negative, yeah, okay? So early failures like you know, this stream is really not surprising at all. It's really not even a problem, I would say. You know, this is how it is. This is how it works. It's every start is hard, and especially today, you know, especially today, it's just much harder to start a stream than it was, I don't know, a couple of years before. And it's also true for YouTube as well. You know, it's just so much bloat, so much competition, so much, you know, algorithm changes in the background. So nowadays the algorithms are not really showing people what they want. The algorithms are showing people what the algorithm believes is going to keep the people on the platform. And, you know, that means, do the algorithm believes that I am keeping people on the platform? Well, no, because it never tried. Well, why would it try it out? Well, who knows? Yeah, this is how you can convince the algorithm to give you a chance. So, yeah, this is the sad thing, that now I am having a battle with algorithms and not really people. You know, because if somebody joins in and he says that, you know, this stream is a piece of shit, and, you know, I get some level of feedback that was the problem, you know, that's helpful. But if a silent algorithm in the background deciding the fate of this stream, yeah, I really cannot do anything against it. I can try out different things, you know, different tags, different, I don't know, whatever. But in the end of the day, it's not up to me. So, yeah, I mean, alright, I'm quite close to the town. This is where I usually stop the stream, so I'm going to do that today as well. Tonight, yeah, it's nighttime. I actually quite enjoyed, you know, I walked different pathways today I've never before, and it looked awesome in my opinion. That footage will be saved, so it wasn't a waste of time at all, but still I would have much more preferred if somebody would join. But otherwise, you know, for me it was fun. I liked it. If anybody is here or was here, thank you for your time and patience, and thank you for being with me. Even if you're not chatting with me, I'm still really appreciate if somebody is around. Sometimes they do just don't interact with the stream, and that's why, you know, I just talk in myself and don't know if anybody hears it. But yeah, if you are here, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'm going to do this tomorrow as well, and approximately the same time. So see everyone there, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.